The creative process is so interesting. Like that's why I said I'm reading Rick Rubin's book. I don't know. I've never been in a inn like this, but it's just fascinating. But does it ever bother you the degree to which people use autotune? To the effect of like they really aren't a great singer, but people, the final song makes them sound so amazing. Does that bother you at all?
I'm not. Well, if somebody wants to pay me to record them and use autotune, then I'm gonna do it. That's how I make a living. But I don't mind using autotune with somebody who can sing, and use it to save time in the studio. Because I mean, when I started doing this and we were recording an analog, we'd spend like 4 hours getting a lead vocal because it's like, okay, the timing is not right, or the pitch is a little off here, and just like go back and we'll punch in this one word. And honestly, when you're just constantly micro punching phrases here and there, the singer gets worn out. They also lose the magic of that sparkle in their voice, and they're like, okay, we're gonna go back and punch. They get exhausted.
But they can't hear it, but you can. Where it's like your pitch is just this much off. If we could just do that again.
Well, if they're singing it, they're relying on me to give them feedback. Like, hey, we need to go back and do this phrase again. It's like it's a little pitchy. Now, if we want to take the time and stop and say, let's listen to this. What do you think? That's why they're hiring me to help them get the best out of them. So, yeah, most of the time, if they're a great singer, they can hear it, but they're not perfect, so they're not going to sing it perfect all the time.
It's kind of like what I'm doing right now, in a way. Like you guys are having the conversation, but I may notice things that you don't notice.
Yeah,
right?
he different perspective.
So my point is, do you have to say, hey, I'm going to auto tune this, or do you just go and just kind of turn it a little bit and make it right, and then move on?
I mean, it depends on the singer. I mean, I'll go, that sounds really great. It feels great. I can, it's a little pitch. If they like, it's a little pitch, I'm like, I can fix it. We're moving on.
Okay.
So I can get a vocal a great vocal from most really good singers in an hour, just really working with them. I mean, sometimes, less, sometimes a little more, but the average is about an hour. Some singers who are not quite as experienced, I might spend an hour and a half but I'll do like 3 different takes on them doing the song all the way through. And then I'll pick and I'll mix and match between different takes, like this phrase from take 1 and this phrase from take 2 and this phrase from take 3. And sometimes I'm just taking a syllable or a word and just...
So you're just barely doing it, so you don't...
I'm not talking about autotune.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about different tracks, different takes.
Okay.
I'm mixing and matching. Now, I'm listening to the whole thing through a very mild autotune. So as we're listening back to it, autotune is just, I've got it on a loose setting that's tucking things in. So we don't even hear if it's out of tune. If that is not catching, if the autotune is not catching it, then I'll go, okay, let's re-sing this.
Okay.
Because I don't do autotune like the real strict autotune where you hear it.
Right.
I don't want to hear. I want everything to still sound very natural.
That's
and
kind of.
human.
I think that's kind of what I think we're bouncing around with is that like you don't want
That's my
you don't want to
question
change
is-
somebody's voice, right? Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, unless you're doing
some
that
people
for an
just-
intentional effect.
yeah, some people intentionally
Want
want
it a certain way.
Is my point.
Yeah, and that's not, that's a whole different thing. What I'm talking about is just getting a great performance from a singer that
But
sounds natural.
that's not what your jive is I'm just not going to just throw auto tune on you and have you sound like this. We're going to actually work through it.
But I do, when you say throw auto, I do have an auto-tune setting that is on when I go back and listen to the take, and I listen to it to see if it's catching
But it's
things.
loose,
It's very loose, so it allows them some flexibility,
Right.
and it just tightens things up a little bit. And you can tell when you turn it on, it's like, okay, just really, really tighten things up. But the thing is, you can go back and listen to a Beatles record or Eagles record or something like that, where it's like they sang so good,
Right.
Listen to these artists, and it's like, I don't know
It's pure.
what the deal is, but you listen and people, I mean, I could listen to it real critically and find things that are pitchy, but they just probably worked at it a lot harder than we do these days.
No doubt. I mean, if I'm like a decent singer and then I go, oh wait, I can just hit this button and now I'm a great singer.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
just go
probably
back
gonna
and
not-
listen through these artists from the 70s and stuff. And you're like, man, that was a
And that's got to
great
be the same
singer.
case with like instruments and stuff too, right? Because I can just create a drum track, or I can create a violin track, or I can create a whatever, versus having a person come in and actually play it. But the quality, I mean, I think we can all feel that the quality's better with the actual people.
I mean, you
right?
want to
Yeah.
stay kind of old school with it, right? I mean, I would.
I like that. That's my jam. My son
Yeah.
is he'll be 26 next month, and he's also a music producer, but he's more in the electronic world.
Yeah. Like
he-
electro pop.
He was
Right.
an EDM artist
EDM.
For several years, where he toured and did shows and as an EDM artist. But he also has produced a lot of hip hop and rap artists around locally in the area, and he's really good at that. But he listens to bluegrass music. He loves bluegrass. That's his favorite style of music, you know. And he listens to a lot of classic rock and stuff. But he's just really good with electronic music and keyboard programming and stuff like that. And I mean, he works with a lot of local artists who are not great singers, and he's brilliant at tuning vocals and doing those layers with singers who are not
Plays
that great.
the piano so well.
He does.
He's very talented.
You want to do your lightning round, and then we'll
Oh.
wrap her up?
Oh, we're already at lightning round? I didn't even talk about cigars.
Yeah, it's too.
I wrote all this down,
That's a
like
good.
what is your
that's-
brand and why do you
We could save that for another
smoke,
podcast.
What's your favorite flavor profile?
Well,
and-
ask the cigar questions real quick if you want to.
Oh, and I
Use
didn't
that as
even
the
ask
lightning
what the
round.
weirdest session is.
The other thing is, you guys do live pretty close to each other. We could do this again,
We could do it again, but
multiple episodes. Not
Somewhere down the road.
No human being can be encapsulated in 1 hour and a half.
You could probably chop this up and get a couple out of it, because I feel like it's too long for somebody to sit through all of this.
No,
All
this,
right,
this
well,
is this is right at the normal
this is
length.
not too long.
No, this
Okay.
Is, this,
This
is
has
the
been
normal length.
fascinating,
No, it's
Steve.
very-
Okay,
it's very good.
I feel like I'm being very boring with
No,
You
this
are
is
not.
this is
You are not.
interesting, and lots of people are interested in the music industry because of where we live.
Yeah, and
So-
like I said earlier, you've forgotten more about this than people know. Like you just blacking out for 2 hours and just talking randomly about music would be fascinating to the vast majority of people because they have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
okay.
I didn't have a clue, see? And now I do. I have a little bit of a clue.
I told you you're going to find out a lot about what I do in this little sit down.